Hello, my name's Reevesy, you're watching Week of Geek, and today we're talking TemTem. TemTem is a strategic monster battling MMORPG. It's very similar and probably as close to a Pokemon Online as we're going to get. I guess I wanted to put together a bit of a video for the people who are thinking the same thing that I was when I first heard about it. Should I play it? Is it just another bad Pokemon clone? And why is this game getting such good reviews? So in this video, I'm going to give you some of my opinions on the game, and then start to look at some of the core features, and then answer some of those questions that would have helped me assess if I wanted to buy the game, all in the hope that I can help do the same for you. Okay, so before we go any further, I'd massively appreciate it if you help this channel grow by clicking the subscribe button. And of course, tap that notification bell to watch any new content that we release each week. So let's start with my opinions on the game, and I guess as an overall opinion, yeah, it's really good. I played for about 15 hours and I've already really enjoyed my time in TemTem. That's both as a Pokemon fan, but also as a huge MMORPG fan. And I'm guessing you're one or the other if you're watching this video. So let me tell you why it's really good. First of all, from the second you click start on a new character, you're greeted with nothing but a professional, polished game. And once you get over all the Pokemon comparisons and puns, you really start to appreciate that this is much more than just another clone. The game uses shell shading and an anime style really well for a consistent look across different graphic settings. I actually found it to be really quite a charming aesthetic. But from there it just seems to get even better, from quirky NPC dialogues that sees you having back and forth quips through to a complex battling system. So let's touch on that and let's talk about the battling system, because at first glance you're playing Pokemon for sure, but the battles have so much more mechanics to them. In fact, we've got another video breaking down the battle system to explain what I mean a bit more. For example, each TemTem has one of a few passive traits, and those traits could be anything from healing themselves when another Pokemon dies, to reducing the amount of damage that TemTem takes from another certain type of TemTem. And you never know what trait the other TemTem has got until it's triggered. It's a bit like secret cards in Hearthstone if you've ever played that. You can even have abilities that work much better if the TemTem's partner is a certain element type. This in-depth system creates real opportunity for unique synergies and different types of squad builds. And squad, by the way, is what they call your main 6 TemTem that you have on you at all time. I can honestly see a big potential for competitive esports like games. And of course, all of the great things that come with esports would follow. Which brings me nicely onto my next point. Should this be listed as an MMORPG? I guess it depends on what you class as an MMORPG. It certainly is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, but I wouldn't blame anyone who would feel uncomfortable putting it in that bracket. I personally would say yes, it is an MMORPG because it has these things. It technically has dungeons, and that's in the form of caves and of course dojos, which are very similar to gyms from Pokemon, where you fight through encounter to encounter, and eventually at the end you usually get some form of rare loot from the last boss encounter. You have loot and rare loot in the form of TemTem. You can find Luma TemTem, which is equivalent to a shiny in Pokemon, I guess, really rare. There's progression, so you can level up your TemTem, but also you can save up the currency in-game for new cosmetics, progressing what your character looks like throughout the game. And then there's endgame, like breeding the perfect TemTem. In this game you can breed 2 TemTem together, and the resulting egg gets traits from both of its parents, meaning you can breed unique TemTem. And of course then there's the farming. You can go out and farm every single TemTem, or just try and find unique Luma ones, which I think the drop rate is about 1 in 8,000. And on top of that, the developers are putting in new areas and new things to do, the latest being the Psy Park. And it's an area you need to be at a certain point in the game to reach, a bit like new DLC content in your normal MMORPG. And lastly, other players. This game has lots of them. You can even team up with your friends to take every encounter on together. To me, it really does seem like there's lots that tick the MMO box, but of course I understand it's not going to be for everybody. So, I think my answer to the original question, should you play TemTem, is yes, but why would you want to avoid this game? Well, I guess if you're a die-hard Pokemon fan, you're going to find it really hard to stray and come to this game which isn't Pokemon, but there's a lot of copying happening. I think a good example of that is when you're walking around, some of the music that kicks in is quite literally taken from Pokemon. But for me, it's like anything else in the games industry nowadays. These guys have taken a formula and made it better, but they have still used a lot of the formula. My comparison is always, Fortnite and COD Warzone weren't the first Battle Royale games. They took a formula and made it better. It doesn't make it any less enjoyable to me personally, but any die-hard PUBG fans might disagree. I'd also definitely avoid this if you hate random encounters and random fights. Just like the great Final Fantasy games, it can be a bit annoying for even the most dedicated fan when you randomly get stopped for a fight for the third time in a minute. Luckily you can run away from these fights, and you can avoid having them altogether by staying out of the designated areas like the long grass and the water. But still, if you hate that type of gameplay, stay away. This also probably isn't for you if you like a hardcore MMORPG. I mean, this just isn't it. Well, not yet anyway. It's just not the full-time MMORPG that you can dedicate your life to with thousands of different goals to go after. And although there is some endgame and it is quite good, it's not the type of endgame you'd be used to in any other MMO. I guess what I'm trying to say is it probably won't captivate the most hardcore MMO players. And that is it, really. That's all I have for you. That's my opinions on the game TemTem, and I'm actually really enjoying it and will probably make some more TemTem videos, so make sure to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and keep your eyes peeled for more content. Thanks for watching, until next time.